Hi, Daniel. The link is correct now. Remember, I said it starts recording once you join. So it was just 2 minutes, and now it's a minute. So we'll wait for others to join in. How are you doing? Hey, you. How are you doing? Okay, guys. Olashibumi and Daniel.
Oh,
What you guys doing?
can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can. So, Daniel, I
Coach, I'm fine. No, good evening.
oh hi Shibumi.
Too late
So
for
2
me.
minutes before the time, 9 p.m. is when we start on the dot. Okay, so Cav, how you doing? Please join using the link in the group. Please join. Senator Ofomi, how you doing? It's been a while. Hope you're good. Okay, so please help me drop in the comments in the group that we've started, that we're live. That helps nudge others to join in. Daniel Mbikwe, who else is here? Senator Fomi, Shubomi, please drop a message that we're live and that they should join in. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Joseph. How you doing? Good evening, my time.
Good evening, everyone. I'm good, and you?
Good
I'm
evening.
good, Joseph.
Good evening.
Awesome. Glad to be here again today.
Oh yeah, you were here yesterday, yeah? Was that your first time joining?
Yeah, yesterday was my first time.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks for
thank you
joining.
very much. Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for the good work you're doing. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Idris Olagunju, please join. Sorry, please drop a message. Guys, I'm sure you guys are tired of reading my messages in the group. So just drop a message urging others to join that we are live. I'm sure when they see other messages, that would nudge them to join in. We're starting 9:05 on the dot, my time. Apologies, guys. I'm not able to put on my camera today. I'm not even feeling like it today, but yeah, we move. I'm sure some of you have seen my faces already and we've met online here. Emily, how you doing? Senator,
I'm
oh
good,
yeah.
thanks. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, Emily. Thank you. Please, you should drop a message in the group chat. Tell them to join that we started. Though. Just type, we are live, guys. We're live. So they can join in. Hi, Daniel Mbekwe. How you doing?
Hi, I'm fine. Good evening.
Good to meet you. Are we just meeting for the first time? Is this the first time?
Um, no, I was in the class yesterday.
Ah, okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good evening,
Okay,
everyone.
Good
okay.
evening. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Please, now I'm begging you people, drop messages in the group. Thanks, Emily. I see your message. Drop a message in the group and tell them we're live. We need more persons to join the call. Okay. Just drop a quick message and say, guys, we're live joining. So once it's 9:05, Daniel, you can go for it. We'll just start right away.
Okay. I'll surely do that.
All right, cool.
1 minute more.
Okay. Yeah, CAF, please join. Okay, so this is 9:05. Over to you, Daniel. And yeah, every other person would meet us halfway in.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. You're welcome to the show. I'm going to start right away by sharing my screen. And you must have seen the topic, which is handling difficult conversation as a project manager. One thing is this: communication skills is very, very essential. And so when you talk of communication skill, here you are going to add handling difficult conversation. This is where you have to learn to build trust among your teammates. So I would start by presenting my slide. So I'll repeat the topic again: handling difficult conversation as a project manager. A practical guide for effective leadership. That is the topic. And so my name is Kalon Daniel. I work as a compliance project manager with the UK Civil Service. My job there is to handle risk-based compliance projects. So we look at risk involved in compliance and then handle it, and then mitigate those risks. So why difficult conversation matters? So I'll start by defining difficult conversation. So difficult conversation is any discussion where emotions may run high, opinions may differ, and the outcome matters to the individuals involved. So when they say conversation is difficult, there are many things that could occur. So the list is still exhaustive. Many things could happen during difficult conversation. So the topic often involves performance, behaviors, conflict, other expectations. So making this conversation uncomfortable or very hard to initiate. So why it matters more in project management is that it is essential for maintaining team performance, escalating project delay, strengthening trust, clarity, and accountability, and supports a healthy team culture. Yesterday, we were talking about scope management, scope creep, and all that. Yes, when it comes up, talking to your sponsor, because of this scope management, scope creep, and all that, it's a difficult conversation. So it's just like we coming up with this one in order to back up what we discussed yesterday. Now, common types of difficult conversation. We have performance issue where the teammate is not performing fine. We have conflict between two teammates. That is conflict. Handling those, resolving the conflict is handling a difficult conversation. Behavior or conduct concern is one of them. When you talk about someone misbehaving, you have to handle that person, and having that discussion with the person, if not properly done, will be difficult conversation. Things will go wrong. Then we're setting unrealistic stakeholders' expectation. We spoke more about this yesterday too. So this is a difficult conversation to handle. We are going to see how we are going to be able to have this conversation, giving corrective or negative feedbacks and managing personal issues affecting work. I'm going to be quite fast because we need to have some good conversation, discussion at the end of this class. So why these conversations are hard, we may ask. Why are they hard? One, the fear of conflict or damaging relationship between team members. And when your team members are not in good terms, when they cannot relate well, there would be collaboration. And you know the result when there's no collaboration. The team hits the rock. Then, risk of emotional reactions is also involved. Lack of confidence or communication skills. Discomfort in addressing sensitive topics. And then remote work challenges, reduce non-verbal cues, because we are all working remotely. It could be hard to handle difficult conversation because sometimes body language goes a long way. And when you are having this remote kind of job, it's always hard for the other person to see your body language, because body language, 75% conversation is transferred or conveyed through body language. Now, PMM's 5-step approach. Most of us who are project managers will know about this 5-step approach from the PMM. It is start with your end goal. First of all, look at the goal you want to achieve having this difficult conversation. Then prepare the facts that you need to have this difficult conversation. Then choose the right setting. When is the right time for you to handle this goal? Maybe you want to discuss about conflict with 2 teammates. You won't come when you know there is a problem on ground, when this just occurred. Instead, you wait for some time for their tempers to go. That is when what we talk about. Choose the right setting. Then hold the conversation. It's necessary that you must hold it. And as the project manager, you should be the one to initiate this conversation. Then agree actions and follow-ups that you need for this conversation. Yes, the action you are going to take is what you guys have resolved after having this conversation, and to follow up with it. What plan do we have to follow up with this action we've agreed? That is the PMM's 5-step of handling difficult conversation. Then, recognize communication models. There are also other communication models that we could use to handle difficult conversation. We have the SBI model, situation, behavior, impact. What is involved here? You have to look at the situation, you look at the behavior involved, and then the impact that this situation will cause. This will help you to handle the person you are looking at or you want to have this conversation with. Then the other one is DESC, D-E-S-C model. Describe, express, specify, and consequences. Describe the scenario that you have, express yourself, specify what is involved, and then the consequences it will have if that person does not make a change, and the consequences it will have if the person make a change. Then we have also the crucial conversation model. That is very important too, that we use it when matters are very, very crucial. It's good to use this other model. Then LEAP model, which is listen, empathize, agree, and partner. This one is especially good when someone is going through emotional breakdown or stress from maybe personal life. For instance, if I have a teammate that is not meeting up to target and I have this conversation with the person, while I listen and I get to find out that the person is going through a lot at home, maybe she's going to, her partner is sick, she has to spend extra time taking care of her partner or a child at home. And so the best thing here is that I have to now bring in this method to empathize. That's show some kind of empathy with the person. And then after showing some empathy, then we agree on a solution to this problem. If it requires that I support, that is partner, if it requires that I have to support her in order to achieve our agreement, then it should be necessary that I do that. Even though if I'm not actively supporting her, I might need to be encouraging her as a kind of support or motivating her as a kind of support throughout the system. Then we have the IBRO approach, which is interest-based relationship. This is especially important when you have stakeholder involvement. What is the interest of the stakeholder? And what is this relationship based on? Is it because of meeting up targets or so? That is a model you can use. Then we have our favorite STAR method, which is situation, task, action, results. This one is for a long process, what do you call it? Difficult conversation handling. Then, like I mentioned before, we have the PM's 5-step approach from the PMI. Then we have workplace difficult conversation framework. All those ones in details we'll discuss maybe later, but for now, these are just a cross, just a kind of brief discussion. So now the most important thing is that how do we start this difficult conversation? We have some samples here that you could use to start this difficult conversation. Like we said before, you have to look for the right time, right setting. But now the first word you have to say have to be very, very carefully sorted. Like the first one we have here, I do like to discuss something important to help us move forward. I do like to discuss something important to help us move forward. This is when you know that the person is not meeting up to target. Maybe it's one of your developers, is not meeting up to target, is not giving feedback to the other teammates, and the other teammates have complained to you. You won't start by saying your teammates have reported you to me. No. Look at a good model to use. I do like to discuss something important to help us move forward. Another way you can say is, can we talk about what happened during the meeting? Maybe you notice that the person is sleeping during the meeting, or maybe you know that the person is not participating during the meetings. Maybe the person used to participate before, and you know you need this person's input because maybe the person is so experienced in that field that you know that you need that person's impact during meetings. So you can say, can we talk about what happens during the meeting? Why are we not hearing from you? Something like that. Now, another one is, hear what I've observed. Hear what I've observed, and I do like your perspective. This is a very fine one when it comes to someone who is reserved, someone you need his impact, or someone who they'll be talking so much about. So you can use this to push the, to push the conversation to the person's angle, to draw out the person's inner thoughts so that you could know how to handle it and what the person's view is about that topic you want to explain about. This one is another one. This one is very, very collaborative way to start a difficult conversation. He said, let's explore this together so we can find a way forward. Let's explore this together. Okay, let's explore this issue together. You might have a name of the issue you are looking at. So these are ways we could start. The list is not exhausted here. It's inexhausted. We have so many other ways you could think of that you could use to start this difficult conversation. One hint is this: whenever there's a situation, make sure you always go close to your AI. Some of you should know by now that the AI you should use a particular AI, that the AI should have known you, know your job. That when you say, once you log into your AI in the morning and say hi to your AI will ask you, what do you want us to do today? It will list out all the activities you normally do every day with it. So once you have a difficult conversation, you tell your AI, I had this conversation, this is the scenario, how do I start? It will give you hints. It will bring up things like this that you use to start. But that is just it. Have it at the back of your mind that that is something that could help you, because the world is going AI now. So you should be more professional when you have that supporting you. Then, keeping this conversation productive. How do we keep this conversation very, very productive so that things don't get out of hand? What do we do? First thing is this: stick to the observation, not assumption. What do we mean here? Stick to what you've observed. Don't think of, oh, I feel this is like this. No, don't bring your feelings in. Don't bring any assumption in. Stick to your observation. As you're talking, even though you've heard before that this person is a smelly person, don't stick to that. Observe. If you perceive the odor yourself, then you can now say, oh, this is what I feel. Sorry, this is what I've observed. What do you feel about it? Another one is use a neutral and a non-judgmental language. So to keep it productive, always stick to a neutral point of view, especially when you are handling a conflict matter between two teammates. First of all, you have to discuss with the teammates individually on a one-on-one basis. So when you are talking about this one, stick to talking to this person. Don't discuss about this other person to this person. So remain neutral in the discussion. And then when you now bring the two of them together to resolve this matter face to face with the two of them, that is when you now display that you are neutral between them. This is one thing that will help you to gain trust among your teammates. Because if you don't remain neutral, you won't gain their trust. They will say you are taking sides. And next time, they will not even care to come to you. Another thing is listening without interrupting. When you ask someone's view, please, most of us wants to jump and talk. Please, listening is a skill. Listen attentively. Don't talk when the person is talking. And then when the person stops talking, ask the person, are you done? If the person says yes. But while you are listening, nod your head. Make some sound for the person to know you are listening. This thing will encourage the person to pour out, and this will make the discussion to be what? Productive. Another thing is validate the person's perspective. Whatever the person tells you, see it as something important. That is validating it. When you validate it, the person will be encouraged to put out his or her mind or give you his or her view and the person will be able to listen to whatever you two in turn want to say, or whatever recommendation you are coming up with, the person will be ready to accept it because of what? You showed validation to all his or her own perspective. Another one is keep the discussion focused on the issue. Don't bring in any other issue around it. Focus on the issue. You might want to get rapport with the person. That should be at the beginning or at the end. At the beginning of the conversation, you might want to establish a good rapport. You might just tell the person, how was today? Did you watch the match between Arsenal and Manchester? Once you finish that aspect and you start discussing, having this difficult conversation, please stick to the issue on hand. Don't interrupt with any other issue. If someone is going to interrupt, let it not be you, the leader. Let it be someone else. Now, also bring it back to shared goals. Remember we said before that you should have a goal. If you look at the goal at the beginning, before you have the discussion. So you should bring all your discussion back to the goal. What you are aiming at, you should have it in a pen, noted down in a paper while you're having this discussion. Maybe if there is conflict between two people, two of your teammates, your goal is to what? Resolve the conflict. You know, there is a different method you could resolve conflict, either by owning up, by compromise, or whatever method you are using. Make sure the goal is achieved. Then finally, document decision and action. Why do you need to document decision and action? Because tomorrow that person might deny we did not have this conversation or we did not agree like this, especially when it comes to stakeholders. I'm saying this because stakeholders Sorry, I had to take a sip of water. Stakeholders most time might deny what you people decided, especially when you have one-on-one with the stakeholder. That is very, very important that you document it. So it is good so that in case of tomorrow, someone say, we didn't have this conversation. You say, no, I noted it down. If possible, send whatever you've decided to the person through email. Or if you have a central system where you lodge things, like where I work, we have a central system where we lodge interactions. You lodge it in, this is the interaction I had with this stakeholder, and the system immediately logs it in. So whoever goes into your account, and the person will see all the conversation you'll be having with teammates and every other person. It's very, very important, please. Then we are now going to look at case studies. We are now going to look at case study. Before we go into the case study, does anybody have any question? I'm just only 25 minutes in, so I've been fast. Does anybody have, I can't see the screen, so maybe somebody will help me see if there is any, so that I can stop sharing and see the person. Okay. I believe there's no question. Now we're going to look into case study. The first case study background: a project manager received concern about a team member whose behavior is affecting team dynamics. Two possible scenarios is involved here. Scenario one, poor personal hygiene. Multiple team members feel uncomfortable during meeting, and close proximity work, collaboration, and morals are impacted. So what are we going to do here? That is scenario one. Scenario two, that's scene B, risky social media behavior. A team member posts workplace photos and internal reference online. Colleagues are concerned about confidentiality and professional background. So what do we do? Can somebody help me? Let's discuss this as a teammate. What do we do here? No, sorry, I'm going forward. Stopped. My people. Am I just talking alone?
No, we are here with you, my brother.
Okay, good.
You stopped sharing.
I know I stopped sharing. I
Okay.
wanted to see your faces.
We've not seen
I'm
yours.
talking alone.
Yeah, we are with you.
Okay, fine. So in this of the scenario, can somebody just tell us what step they would take if they are the project manager? First of all, hygiene issue, where...
Sorry, Daniel, can you please share the screen so that we can see the questions?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
I won't be able to see you, so maybe you moderate for me while I share the screen.
Okay, anyone who wants to answer my will surely unmute and answer. So,
So this is where we are. Yes, so the first one, that's the scenario there. Multiple team members feel uncomfortable during meetings and close proximity work. Collaboration and morale are impacted. So how would you plan and how will you have this difficult conversation? Okay, if nobody is going to answer, let me just give a hint. Remember, you need to plan. First of all, you need to get your evidence together. Confirm that this person to truly have okay, is somebody wants to talk? I think somebody's hand is up, although I cannot see the. Go ahead and talk. Okay, maybe that's somebody came in. So remember, you have to plan, get your evidence first. And then number 2, remember that you need to do what? You need to have a goal. What is your goal? To be able to make this person, these teammates, improve on his personal hygiene. So the first thing is, if we are using the PMI's 5-step, the PM's 5-step, the first one we have to prepare. After we prepare, we need to now go ahead and open the conversation. Preparing in this instance, we need to clarify, why are we having this purpose? We need to gather facts. We need to choose the right time, and then have the right setting. Then open the conversation. We need to now go ahead and have this conversation. After having this conversation, we now need to explore and listen. Then, in a scenario like this, we now go ahead and address and align the person. And then finally, we close and have a follow-up. So that is what we are supposed to do in a scenario like this. We could still use other methods too that are there, like desk or anything you feel that is good for you to use. Then the other one is the scenario of social media behavior. A team member posts workplace photos and internal preferences online. Sorry, internal references online. Colleagues are concerned about confidentiality and professionalism background. So now this is very, very important here in the UK, because people don't play with data breach, data policies and everything. So almost every organization have their own guidelines on how you handle social media working for them, because of their, what do you call it? Because of their organizational standard or organizational status. They don't want it to be spoiled, and they don't want anybody to come sue them up. So in this kind of instance, as a project manager, you should quickly initiate that conversation, because your company here, you pay up to £17,500 when you breach someone's data, or when you do something wrong, or when you expose the company's secret by posting internal pictures. Like where I work, you don't come in to snap pictures. You don't take pictures if not permitted to do so. So talk less of putting them on social media. So at this point in time, you have to start the conversation. Remember, as a project manager, it is your duty to start this conversation, to initiate this conversation. And before you initiate it, you have to plan. And one of the things you plan is for you to get your evidence. So the teammates that are complaining, you ask them, do you have any evidence to show me? Or can you give me the link to his social media account, so that you yourself look at it? If those pictures or images posted on social media are what that things that could cause what do you call it, data breach. And once you see that things that could have cause data breach, that is something that should be reported. So first of all, you need to let the person don't go further, to stop posting that thing, to stop posting those pictures and images. So you have to have this conversation. Now, the goal of your conversation is what I just said. Further on, no posting of images, but you don't enforce it on the person. You first of all get the person's view about it. Remember, don't tell the person that other people said. No. You said, I noticed that from your social media account, you have been posting, because that shows you have evidence, you've done your homework. You have been posting things, or you've been putting photos and other workplace details on your social media page. Could you tell me why you are doing that? Or do you know the implication of that? Or could I know the reason why this is so? That is a way you could handle it also. But we have a model answer on the next slide, which is number one, the issue is highly sensitive and personal. Team discomfort is increasing. That is case study, the challenge. The team is highly sensitive. The issue is highly sensitive and personal. Team discomfort is increasing. PM must intervene early. That is what is involved. Now, what is the risk that is included? Reduced trust. Yes, everybody will reduce that trust. Then, team morale, if the one of the hygiene, poor team morale, nobody will want to work with that person. Then, confidentiality breaches. Then, professional standards being undermined, doc. So these are things that could happen if not immediately handled. So going forward, now see, managers approach using XBI or desk. These are two methods which is being used here. Okay, scenario one, the hygiene, SBI model situation. In recent meetings, I have observed that you have been, you understand me? I've observed that the situation that you have been oozing, or you have not been having a good hygiene, that people notice that the oil around you is offensive. Something like that. Then behavior, colleagues mentioned, challenge sitting close due to this concern. I also observed it. Impact. This affects collaboration and team comfort. Could you please tell me the reason why? Or could we look into this together if there's anything we could do to help this situation? Then listen to the person. Then, scenario B of the social media we use desk model. Describe. I noticed posts showing the office and referencing internal discussions. Then the next one is express. This creates confidentiality risk. Specify. Workplace content must not be posted without approval. You are specifying what the person is supposed to do. Then consequences. This protects the team and meets compliance requirements. So these are the two methods used for the two scenarios, XBI and desk, for the two scenarios. You could still use other methods. You could just work it out, tweak it for it to work to the scenario, whatever the scenario is. There is no one that is stick to the other one, no. Then, outcome of the conversation. The team member acknowledged the concern, that is the concern of him having hygienic problem, and planned that he is going to take care of it. The manager provided support and clarified expectations from the person. Both of them, both the one who is posting on social media and the one who is having poor hygiene. Behavior improves with sensitive follow-up. Follow-up from the project manager. 10, team trust and comfort recovered, and issue is resolved discreetly and professionally. So that is a case scenario that we look at when it comes there. This is a case study. So benefit of handling difficult conversation is what we are now looking at. The benefit of handling difficult conversation is that it prevents minor issues from escalating. If you allow it to linger, just as you allow a little fire and say, don't worry, it will not go far, and it becomes a wildfire, you won't be able to handle it later. You start looking for a way for you to do what? For you to run away. Now, difficult conversation is just like that. If you leave it, if you allow it to linger, it will cause problem. It will escalate to something you don't want it to be. Then, improve team cohesion and trust. Difficult conversation, when you handle it, it will improve your team cohesion, and the trust among your team will grow. And even you, as the project manager, you need the trust of your team. For them to trust that you always lead them, for them to trust that you always solve that matter, because you are paid to resolve any blockers, any obstacle, any impediment. That is what you paid for. And so once you are not able to do what you are paid for, once they don't trust that you can do what you are being paid for, remember, especially if you are working for a private sector, they don't know how to tell you to adjust yourself, especially here in UK. They'll just tell you, we are downsizing. Instead, because you're not performing. Then, another thing is support performance and project delivery. Yes, performance increases, project delivery is on a high expectation. Then another one, builds PM's leadership credibility. Like I said before, your credibility increases, and that is why you are being paid for. So you are giving them value for their money. They are not just paying you salary for nothing. You are giving them the worth of their money, and they would consider whenever you tell them, I want an increment, they will look at it. It's really working for us. Let's stop it. Then create a healthy team culture. Yes, a healthy team culture that everybody looks out for everybody. Everybody know that our if there's any issue, our project manager is capable to handle these conversations to help us move well. So our final thought on this, before we go to question and answer, difficult conversations are not obstacles. They are opportunity for leadership, clarity, and growth. Remember, they are not obstacle. I called it obstacle before because I said it is your job to remove impediment, obstacles, and blockers in the project delivery. So that is why I said that. But it is not really an obstacle. It is opportunity. You look at it as an opportunity for you to show your leadership, for you to show clarity, and for your own growth. Handled well, they strengthen team, relationship, and improve project outcomes. So that is it. That is why it is good to have difficult conversation and have them resolve the right way. So, do we have any questions? As we've come to the end of my slide, or any reflection, or any other situation you want us to explore together. So, handling difficult conversation comes to an end. Thank you for participating.
Thank you, Daniel. This is very wonderful. I've learned something new today, and I like the fact that you've linked most of your presentation to the PMI standard, which is very recommendable. So thank you very much. Can you please? I heard something like leap. By that time, I was a bit distracted. So can you, if you have time, can you please enlighten me about that leap that you said? Because I was hearing some acronyms, but I didn't get the explanations on them. So if you have time, please.
Okay. I'll go back to the slide so that you see other acronym that is involved with also. I'll take that part again. We still have some time. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, this is a case study. I passed it. Sorry, I'll go back again. Okay, that's LEAP model.
Mhm.
It is listen, empathize, agree, and partner. I said this method is especially best when it has to do with somebody's what do you call it? Maybe the person is sick, health-wise. Maybe the person is having problem running her domestic or his domestic affairs. Maybe someone is just facing a divorce, a man facing a divorce. So mentally or emotionally, that person is not balanced. So this kind of method is always better. You want to know. Lately, I noticed that your performance have gone down. Or lately, I've noticed that you come to work late. Could I know why? Or could you help me to know? Could you tell me why? What's the reason is? Then the person will now start talking. That is the part where you listen. Remember, you have to start that conversation. So you have to listen. And then after listening, first thing you should do is to empathize. Don't show sympathy. Sympathy is different from empathize. Sympathy is, oh, sorry. Empathize is showing feeling, fellow feeling that, oh, I know, I see your frustration. I know what you're going through. I was once like, or I see, I know it must be hard for you. I know it must be very, very hard. Just saying sorry alone is not it. Show that you could feel the person's pain. Then when you show that sympathy, then agree. How do you agree? Ask the person, is there anything we could do to improve this situation? Or is there anywhere I could help to solve this problem on hand, to alleviate you from this so that it doesn't affect your work? If it is a place where you operate a flexible schedule at work, the person could tell you, okay, I could, maybe for a lady that is having a problem with taking care of a child, she could tell you, okay, I would want to work late hours during the day, or something like that. So you have to agree on something in order for this project to be delivered, to move forward. Or you have to agree, okay, meanwhile, maybe you take some days off while I ask Rahim to take over your job for a week. So you go and get yourself better. You agree on something. And then now you partner with the person to be able to realize that agreement. That is what the LEAP is all about. The IBR is interest-based relationship. That one, I said, is mostly for stakeholders. Mostly for stakeholders. You know the interest. The interest is for us to be able to have what? Sponsorship on this project. So all the difficult conversation I'm going to have is because of the interest we have. This man has millions in his bag that is willing to give to the organization. So I have to do what? Make sure that any discussion I'm having is based on that interest. Remember, stakeholder, your stakeholder, what do you call it? Your stakeholder matrix. When you are dealing with your stakeholder, high interest and then high power. That stakeholder, you do what? You manage them carefully. You manage them carefully. It's not for someone you keep informed. No, you manage them carefully. So that is what is involved here. So you know the other one, SBI, situation, behavior, impact. Is that okay, Rahim?
Yeah, that's okay. Thank you very much, Daniel. Also, I know each model there's a reason for each model, or based on the situation that you find yourself with your team members, then you decide which model best suits. But is there any model that you can advise? Is there a model that you can advise that can run a cut across in it any like or any situation that you find yourself in?
Yes, the best method I will advise is for you to go by the way of PMI, PM5, the project management 5-step approach. It is something that cuts across every of them because that is one that is there, the PM's 5-step approach, the PM 5-step approach. One is talk about for you to prepare, first of all. Whatever you want to do, prepare for that discussion to have. Then second, open the conversation. Start this conversation. You don't have to wait. Start it. You have to be the one to start. You don't want it to escalate. Then explore and listen while the person is talking. Then the fourth one is address and align. Address and align the person. And then the fifth one is for you to close and follow up. Close the issue. This is what we've resolved. And then after aligning the person, then follow up. You don't need to leave the issue like that. Always follow up if there's improvement. You need feedbacks. Ask that teammate, like case of the person with the hygiene. Ask that teammate, how do you see him like? This is smelling? This the oozing? If they said yes, you know that what? You need to go back and let him know. But if they say yes, no, it's no more oozing. You go back and encourage that person. You still give him that feedback. So I will always subscribe to the PM's 5-step approach. If you don't know about the PM 5-step approach, please Google it. Ask ChatGPT. As a project manager, you should have that at the back of your mind. Now, one good thing about all these things we've discussed, during job interview, they will always ask you questions based on difficult conversation. They will always ask you any job that has to do with project management, project support, project coordination, project this, project that. Because they know this is crucial. They will ask you, tell me a time that you notice this. Tell me a time. They call it behavioral questions. When they ask you this question, they expect you as the person to tell them a time you've used. So when you are talking, they want to see, did you use SBI? Did you use DEX? Did you use Crucial? Did you use Leap? Did you use IBL? Did you use STAR? Did you use PM5? Did you use Workplace Difficult Conversation Framework? They want to know which one you actually used. But if you just start talking, blah, 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 they'll just say, no, this person does not have the experience of handling difficult conversation. Does not have the behavioral skill we want in this job. Telling you this because this is a training I received while working as in project in civil service. So please, this is what they expect from you when you are having interviews. Thank you, Rahim, for asking me that question because it made me remember. Any other question?
Hi, Mr. Daniel. Thank you so much for your class. It was really enlightening. My own question is based on the fact that humans are not predictable. Because I experienced that when I was doing an internship. What happens when you're having like a difficult conversation and you're not able to conclude because the person isn't even willing to know that they are doing something wrong? Now, how do you approach that kind of situation?
Yes. Thank you so much. In the PMI's, what do you call it? PMI's view, PMI does not encourage, what do you call it? Escalation. But there are some instances you reach, you have to escalate matters. But they want you to, first of all, use all options available in resolving matters. If it comes to one-on-one, you have a one-on-one with this person and this person is still strong, puffed up, you tell the person in this kind of instance, I'm going to send you some guidelines on your email for you to read them, and then we'll meet again and discuss this. Because every organization have what we call HR, and HR keeps every guideline involved in day-to-day affairs. So at this point in time, you have to show the person the rules, the guidelines. Sometimes in project, you have what you call team charter. Team charter clearly defines the rules involved, rules of engagement, of we working together. If there's no team charter, there is what you call, HR guidelines. You make those things available to that person to read it while you have the meeting postponed or reschedule the meeting for another time. At that point in time, you would have known that evidences have been given to him about this thing that he's doing. And at this point, if he's not willing to cooperate, I think you escalate the matter to the HR and see, this is a threat to my project. But getting a new replacement, a new resource is not easy because HR will still tell you to go back and try other things. So that is why you should also pray. May God touch them too sometimes, because some people are hard nuts to crack. Some workers, some resource are very hard nuts to crack. So you have to look, everybody has got their own soft spots. So maybe if you try SBI, it does not work. You try PMI step, it does not work. You go to sending those, guidelines, it does not work. You escalate to this, it does not work. You might do what we call, you shift your, attention from that person. I've done projects where I know you are a key person, but you are misbehaving. What I did, I looked for an alternative. While you are there, someone else is performing your tasks. If I'm getting feedback, I leave you. If I'm supposed to get feedback from you, I will leave you and face the other person. Since you are not ready to cooperate, I'll just keep you there. Since HR is saying I should try my best on you, by the time you know, I give you some time, I use another person to fill in that spot which you are supposed to be. And after some time, I come back to you and you've not realized it. At that point in time, I think you have to leave. You have to leave because you have no good to us, because compliance is very, very important in projects. Rules are meant to be kept, not broken. If you cannot keep to the rules, you can't play the game. If you cannot play the game, you leave the pitch. That's it.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. I think we are going to round up here. It's almost 3 minutes ago.
Yes. So I've been quiet all through because I'm soaking all of this in. Guys, I tell you that you're not the only ones benefiting from these sessions. I am benefiting as well. I'm becoming better every time we have these sessions because no one is an island. First of all, I want to thank you, Daniel. Like, there's so much wealth of wisdom, and each time you reach out and you say you want to teach something, I'm always sat, right? So there are some sessions I don't even just shout. I just sit down quietly, respect myself, and just soak it all in, which is what I did today. But I want to thank you so much. Thank you. You've been so helpful to this community. You've been giving your wisdom, knowledge freely. And I'm just praying that, wherever that is coming from, is just going to keep adding and adding to that. And, you're going to keep getting better. And I'm praying for that very fantastic job that would make everything worth it. And that's coming very, very soon. So thanks to everybody who has asked questions. Rahim, Halimat, thank you. For everyone who joined the session, thank you so much. Okay, so let's do this by God's grace next week. There's also a very interesting lineup for next week. And let's have a lovely evening. It's evening my time, and if it's day your time, that's great. I'm retiring to the bed from here. So have a lovely day and bye for now. Bye, guys.
Yeah, good night, everybody.
Night, everybody.